Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get into Word. I'm going to orient you to the Word work window and also show you how to navigate. Now I'm in my Microsoft Outlook email account, and I want to show you that if you look in the task pane along your left margin, you'll see icons that say go to Word, go to Excel, and go to PowerPoint. So you have access to the 365 version of these programs if you have a Microsoft Outlook email account. A lot of people don't realize that. Now, if I wanted to get into one of these programs, you just click on the appropriate icon. I'm going to click on Word. And it brings me to the window where I have to select which Word document I want to work on. I have recommended documents, which are things that I recently worked on. Or if I scroll to the bottom and I had anything previously saved, it would be here. In this case, I want to open a new blank document. So in the Create New section, I just click Blank Document, and I'm in. Now it's important to note that your Word 365 account is owned by whoever owns your Outlook account. So in my case, this Outlook account is owned by Johnson & Wales, who I teach for. So any work I do in Word is also owned by Johnson & Wales. So if I were to leave that job, all my work leaves with me. Okay, it's important to understand that. I'm going to minimize out of here and go to my desktop and show you how to get into Microsoft Word if you have it installed on your computer at home. Now I'm using Windows 11 as my operating system. To get to Microsoft Word, I click in the search bar and I just type it. And it shows up, and I can click on it to open it up. From here, I have my recent documents listed. If I wanted to go to a document that isn't listed under recent, I could go to open and then navigate to where that document's been saved. But for this video, I want a new blank document. So I'm going to click blank document. Now, before I orient you to the Word work window, I just want to point out that I have my Microsoft Word program pinned to my taskbar. So you can do that for quick access. If you type Word in your search bar, and when it shows up, if you right click on it, you'll see a shortcut menu. Mine says unpin from start and unpin from taskbar. Yours will say pin. And by doing that, it's going to put Microsoft Word down here. Okay, you can do that for any program. I've got it for Word, PowerPoint, Excel, my snipping tool, and some other programs as well. Okay, now on to orienting you to the Word work window. If you look at my screen, you'll see I have the Word icon up at the top, just a reminder that I'm using Word. I've got my auto save option. Mine is turned off. If I wanted to turn it on, I would just click that button. My quick save button, my file name. Now it's giving me the default file name, which is document 1. But if I save this file under a different name, then that's what'll be displayed here. I've got my search bar, which lets me enter keywords and phrases, and it searches for them in any Word documents that I've previously saved. I can sign in to my Office 365 account. I've got upcoming features if I want to see what's coming new for Microsoft Word. I've got my minimize button. If I click that, it shrinks Word down into my taskbar. It's still open, and I can see it if I hover over my Word icon. And to open it up again, I just click on it. I've got my restore down, and I want to point out that when you choose restore down, you get these different layouts that you can use to determine how your documents will be viewed. So for example, in this pane, I have the option to look at 3 windows on my screen. In this one, I've got 2. And in this one, I've got 2. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to use this first layout, and I'm going to choose to put Microsoft Word on the left-hand side of that layout. And here it is. And then I can click on whatever other open program I have, and that'll display on the right-hand side. So now I can work on these 2 programs simultaneously. I'm going to open Word back up to full size by clicking the Restore Down button again. Now this X will close the program, and if I haven't saved already, it'll prompt me to save. Now next are my tabs. I've got the File tab, which operates a little differently than all the rest of them. The File tab takes you out of your Word document and displays its contents vertically. The File tab holds all of the things you need to manage your document. So you'll find things like open, close, save, print, and so on. To get back, I just click the back arrow and I'm back in. Now, all these other tabs keep me in my Word document. They don't take me out like the File tab did. Now, you can tell which tab you have activated by the blue bar that shows up underneath the tab's name. Tabs are named according to the content that they hold. So on the Home tab, you find all your most frequently used options in Word. On the Insert tab, you would find anything that you could insert into a Word document, and so on. If I click on the Home tab, I want to point out how the objects on the tab are organized. They're organized in groups. On the Home tab, I've got the Undo group, the Clipboard group, the Font group, and so on. Items within groups appear as tasks. And if you hover over them, you'll get a little tag that shows you what that task is. Now you might notice that in the bottom left corner of some groups, I have a list arrow. If I click on that, that gives me additional options for working within that group. Now I can't fit all of the font options on this little tab in the font group. So that's why they provide the list arrow so that I can access more options if I need to. Not all groups have a list arrow. Like if you look over here, my Undo group doesn't have a list arrow, and my Editing group doesn't have a list arrow. And if you look throughout some of the other tabs, you'll see that most of them don't have list arrows. Now the bulk of my work window is where I do all my editing, creating, and formatting. And it looks like a big piece of paper because Word is a program that lets you create documents that would normally be on a piece of paper, like letters, memos, reports, brochures, newsletters, and so many more. Now, at the very bottom of my work window, I have a status bar. This provides me with information about my currently open file. So this says page 1 of 1 because I have 1 page in this file with 0 words on it. And if I look at the options on the right-hand side of the status bar, I can change my view. Okay, that's how it's displayed on my computer. I always leave it on print layout just because that's my preference, but you can put it in whatever view you'd like. I also have this zoom out and zoom in option. That just makes your document bigger and smaller on screen. It doesn't affect the size that your font is going to print should you print your document. So it looks bigger and smaller on screen. Now, the last thing I want to do with you is show you how to navigate in Word. So you have a vertical scroll bar that lets you navigate through the pages in your file. I have one page in this file, so my scroll bar is not taking me very far. If I wanted to change that, I could go to my View tab and I could change it from vertical to side. Now, as I add pages to this file, I'm just going to hit Control Enter, which is the shortcut to add pages. As I add pages, you'll see this horizontal scroll bar shows up, and I use that to move from page to page. I prefer vertical, so I'm going to put that back on. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you to get into Word, understand the Word work window, and navigate throughout your document.